An albino Bigfoot captured on camera. The face of the legendary Bigfoot. The creepy figure waiting outside a house in the middle of the night, or the creepy sight of a folklore legend in an Indonesian forest. These are a few of the things we will look at, so stick to the end. These remarkable images, captured at Big Creek Lake in Wilmer, Alabama, have ignited a wave of speculation and wonder. From the very first glance, it becomes apparent that we may be in the presence of the legendary and elusive creature known as the Bigfoot. The creature in display possesses a thick coat of fur enveloping its entire body. However, as we dare to examine the images more closely, its towering stature more closely resembles that of an ape, more of a gorilla. Notably, unlike most purported Bigfoot sightings caught on camera, this particular specimen appears comparatively smaller in size. One can't help but wonder, could this be an elaborate disguise? A man in a costume aimed at playing an unsettling prank on unsuspecting observers? Deep in the woods in Oklahoma, a hunter captures a chilling encounter running across a trail camera and is convinced he's captured the famous Bigfoot. We had to zoom in quite a bit to scrutinize the explicit humanoid blur. Notice how the bipedal subject was moving so fast that the camera was not able to take a clear picture. Is it because the subject was really fast? Or is it done intentionally so that we cannot tell it is fake? Its ghastly pale form takes on a somewhat otherworldly appearance, eerily similar to a cryptid entity. The overall structure seems really sturdy, a human-like form, but a bit different. Could this be the dreaded Sasquatch moving at an incredible speed? Or is just a normal human who was caught in a weird way by the camera? This security camera caught some bizarre footage under the cover of darkness. Amidst a tranquil garden, a chilling sight unfolds. The video captures a mysterious figure lurking in the shadows. Suddenly, the camera glitches as if someone was tampering with it. What sends chills behind our backs is when the figure suddenly starts being enveloped in an incredibly bright light, as if it points a flashlight directly at the security camera. This prompts the homeowner to go to investigate what was lurking in the darkness. Upon arriving outside, she doesn't find anything, but she explains where the figure was standing.
Here's the area, the camera points to. Who would it be out here in the pitch black? Did you hear that?
Her voice is filled with awe and confusion, as she doesn't comprehend what could be terrorizing them. Could it be a prank play or something more sinister that would pay them another visit in the future? This was captured on a security camera in a remote location where, at a time, the owner explained, no one was out due to rain and cold. This woman was seen wandering around that area, pacing back and forth for 20 minutes. No one knows why. It seems as if she's lost. A second security camera in another vantage position captures her going in the back of a certain house. Moments later, she is seen withdrawing back to the woods. From her body language, she seems lost and doesn't know where she is. We can also see her as she staggers in her walking. Could she be under the influence of some drugs? What could she be doing in the middle of the night, outside by herself? Could she be intoxicated or a victim of abduction, searching for help or a path to assistance? If that is the case, why did she not knock the door of one of the nearby houses? The owner of this footage has no answers, as they could not find the mysterious woman in the morning. In a more sinister case, this clip captures an unnerving event of what looks like an old woman approaching the front door of a certain house. Her looks towards the house door at such a late hour seem disturbing enough. But what is more terrifying is that she seems to be holding something in her hand. By the looks of it, this creepy lady is standing in front of this house with a knife, perhaps waiting for someone. Nervously, she gazes upon the blade with an eerie fixation. Is she trying to muster the courage to do whatever she had in mind to begin with? What malevolence could she be planning? Imagine if someone came out from the house and finds this creepy lady? To be honest, I think she might be suffering from some type of mental illness, as she does not seem to be in her right mind. But it is scary to think what could have happened if someone opened the door. In this household, the owner installed a motion tracking camera because strange things kept happening in the house. She is familiar with the events and complains that this is not the first time strange things happened. Before the video begins, something must have happened, as she seems concerned about the cat, calling it to come to her. But we soon see that the door starts moving, as if someone is meddling with it. When she approaches the door, it is clear that no one is there. Could it be a ghostly apparition? Her cat also is aware of the uncanny presence of the unknown, and seems to be spooked. She even goes to the back of the door and talks to the ghost, as if this is all too familiar to her. She curses to whatever that's behind the door and tells it to leave the door alone. But once the woman begins petting and trying to calm down the cat, something creepier happens. The lady seems overwhelmed by these ghostly activities, as if she's experienced this over and over again. This unsettling video comes to a conclusion, but one question lingers in the minds of those who have witnessed it. What insidious forces inhabit this house? Is it a poltergeist, trying to make its presence known? One night, the mother of a daughter was notified by her camera application that motion was detected in the room. The mother, not knowing what is going on in the middle of the night, checks the monitor, only to see a scary sight. We can clearly see something running across the screen next to the kid's bed. Even the motion camera moves a bit, following the figure's movement. Soon after, the mother comes to the room and asks her child if she has a cat in her room. It becomes more peculiar when the child responds that there was no cat in the room.
Is there a cat in here? Is there a cat in here? No.
It becomes clear that surely it might be a ghost cat because the mother wrote about this footage online, saying they recently had to put down their family cat due to illness, and that might be her soul still lingering next to the child, who she had a loving relationship with. In 2017, this trail camera in East Texas Davy Crockett National Forest caught an uncanny sighting at night in a remote location. In this picture, we can see a figure of what appears to be a woman walking around alone in the forest. This is definitely a creepy sight because of the fact that it was captured on a trail camera at a time where certainly no one would be walking around alone in the wilderness. The park rangers were not able to track her, and no one was reported missing around that area. Was this truly a person we've witnessed? Could she be lost or a fugitive? Or did this trail camera catch a ghost? In the still of the night, this trail camera caught what appears to be a slender shadow running across the front yard of a house. When we slow down the recording, as the figure is running, one might assume it to be a normal human being. But as it goes past, it starts vanishing and disappears into the thin air. This footage is really strange, and what transpires is really mysterious. At a closer range, from its pale figure and almost invisible like stature, one can conclude it to be a ghostly apparition. But it could also be a glitch with the recording camera, as this type of things are known to happen with cheaper equipment, where a person's body is no longer processed by the camera, and thus it appears to vanish. A trail camera picks up an unusual sight of a creature fumbling with the camera. Only fur from the animal can be seen. The creature had come around and spotted the camera, and perhaps out of curiosity, it tries to figure what the object is. In the process, it reveals its face, and we can see it's a bear. The bear, with its large paws and inherent wilderness, inadvertently damages the camera as it forcefully rips it off, showcasing its inability to handle delicate objects. This trail camera seems to have caught some bizarre creature lurking in the middle of the forest. It can be seen casually passing by. I am not sure what this is, since we cannot see its face, but it is a creature out of this world that is beyond human understanding. The trail camera is positioned high, making it hard to distinguish this creature's true height. If we watch the video at a slower speed, we might make up the idea that this strange being is tall because it takes long strides as it moves deeper into the forest. Its whole body is covered in a coat of thick fur, which makes it resemble an ape. We can't make much out of this footage, but it does seem to resemble the same body structure we all know of the infamous Sasquatch, the Bigfoot. However, what is with all that hopping around? Really strange footage. In this video, a man decided to film his experience while walking in the woods when he unexpectedly came across a fascinating sight. As he continues filming, he catches something in the corner of his eyes that seems really creepy.
Whoa!
He adjusts his camera at the direction of what caught his eyes and zooms at it. The image becomes clearer, the creature's white face standing out amidst the thick foliage of leaves. It also seems to have dark eyes that are intensely staring in his direction. But the creature is not flinching at all, standing still for the entirety of the video.
He's standing above the bushes. He, she, whatever. Look how tall that is.
If we look too closely, we might make the impression that the creature is blinking, but I think that is because of the poor quality of the camera.
You see how dark its eyes are? Yo, this is scary to an extent. I don't usually see white ones like that.
The man recording is spooked, and even admits that he doesn't normally see creatures as such in the area. Could this be some random animal, or is it a kind of cryptid? Or could it be just a random structure in the woods that spoke to him for no reason? In a forest in Indonesia, the locals stumbled upon a horrifying sight. The video captured a figure of what seems to be a man wrapped in cloth. The figure is unresponsive and shockingly stands there. The voices of the witnesses crackle with awe and concern, as they seem to be familiar with what they are seeing. One even reclaims that the rope is untied. I can hear them saying it's a pocong. So I have done some digging around this video, and it is true many Indonesian people attribute this to an ancient ghostly entity that is said to be the soul of a dead person trapped in their shroud, a traditional belief of the Indonesian culture. The pocong of a person who has been dead for years would be more skeletal in appearance, like the one we are witnessing here. So could this be a real pocong? This trail camera caught a weird sighting. The camera catches some movement of a black and furry figure moving along the tree line. I'll admit it is not clear, and we can't make much out of it. I think this recording might be edited since the figure seems to be bigger and heavier than in reality, so I'm not sure if this is truly Bigfoot or just a person who tried really hard to create a video of a Bigfoot Sasquatch and wanted to gather as much attention as possible. But I could be wrong. What do you think? A camera installed in a household captured some paranormal activity. In the stillness of the night, the sleeping cat is suddenly being carried by what seems to be an invisible force. It floats in the air for a while. Then the invisible figure seems to place it on the other side of the bed. What could be behind these eerie occurrences? Definitely, this has involvement of ghostly activities. The poltergeist is one mostly known for such nuisance. Most claims or fictional descriptions of poltergeists show them as being capable of moving objects such as furniture and cutlery, or making noises such as knocking on doors. But I have never seen one use its powers to move a cat on the other side of the bed. I hope the cat is not too traumatized by this experience. The owner of this house had been hearing strange noises in his attic at night, so he decided to install a hidden camera to uncover the uncanny happenings. The home cam recording captured some paranormal activities happening in the attic. Amidst the calmness, at the far corner, the wooden seat can be seen moving as if it had been pushed. It happens the second time, and this time it's more evident that there could be ghostly activities happening there. This time the chair is pushed farther, and this is really terrifying. As if that was not enough, the wooden horse toy starts rocking on its own. I am sure the residents of this home were really frightened after they saw this recording. Could it be the house was haunted before they moved in? A man claiming to have been staying in a secluded Pennsylvania cabin thought he was seeing something outside at night, so he got his phone and started filming this. Deep in the darkness, as he zooms his camera, he sees a pair of gleaming eyes. The eyes seem to be looking at him directly, as if it is stalking on him. The footage is not clear, but one can see its shadowy figure outline, and the shape of its head is unearthly. With a final demonic glare, it turns and goes away. The witness is left wondering what could that be, but glad that he had recorded it all on camera. This recording is showing one of the worst things one can do when seeing a bear. Approach it for a picture. The lady in question wanted to look fancy on her Instagram, posing gracefully together with one of the deadliest creatures in nature. The photograph looks really into it, as we see him leaning on the car with a really big camera, as if they were ready to have this photo shoot. But unfortunately for them, the bear had enough, as he quickly lunges towards the woman just enough to scare her. She is lucky the bear wanted only to give her a fright, and not to make her a meal. So please people, don't do that if you see a bear. These two curious women decided to explore the woods when they came about something that will forever leave them questioning. The sight of really strange and small creature high up in a tree. It is difficult to define, as it unresponsive the creature seemed to be clutched onto the tree and is not moving. The two claim to have never seen anything like that, and one of them can be heard asking if maybe it could be a bear. The unknown creature has a thick coat of fur and is same size as a bear cub. The two women recording are uneasy and are in wonder if the creature could cause any harm to them. As they continue recording the video, they are frightened and probably think it is a good idea to leave. The women flee from the scene wondering about the eerie encounter of the wild. So what exactly was that? In this video, a trail camera captures a remarkable footage of a crocodile gobbling down a whole fish in this swamp. This alligator is in a really close range, giving us a chance to see the wonders of nature. From this video, one can understand that the alligator is quite a powerful creature. It has a strong jaw and a set of sharp teeth, feature which enables its prowess in hunting. As the alligator leaves the site, it leaves a glimpse of its scaly body for us to admire. This thrilling footage reminds us of the untamed beauty of the wild, but also its captivating ferocity. This explorer was out when he heard some weird growls echoing through the cave below him. These growls are nothing of anything I have ever heard of, and they seem to be coming from a really frightening creature. As the explorer records the video, these growls become in symphony with another similar growl. The explorer can be seen pointing out to where the sounds could be coming from. The cave is usually home to bears. Could this be a growl from a bear, or is it coming from an even more sinister creature? This trail camera in a certain game park caught some captivating footage. All appears to be normal when the bucks sense something going on, and they start dispersing immediately. Amidst the tension that is rising, suddenly two male bucks with long antlers rush and lock onto each other, each of them trying to outpower the other. This fight carries on as they push each other from the view of the camera. This primal encounter serves as a reminder of the fierce competition that exists in the animal kingdom, where survival and dominance are fiercely contested. This man heard something was on his roof, making noises and moving around. Although he was a bit scared, he went outside trying to get rid of it, thinking it must be a large bird or a lost cat. But he was not prepared for what he is about to see.
Okay. Get the other side. Oh, damn!
Once he looks on top of his house, he can see a pair of glowing eyes staring at him, while also hiding behind the roof.
Holy shit, alright. Son of a bitch is one on the other side of the house.
But once he gets to the other side of the house to see the creature better, he sees only a terrifying sight.
What the hell? Where'd it go? What is that?
What exactly did this man catch on camera on top of his house? Was it perhaps an owl that seems creepier than usual? Or was it some kind of cryptid? Considering the carcass it left behind, it seems really terrifying and likely that it was something out of the ordinary. These videos that I am about to show you come from Scott Carpenter, and he is certain that in the area where he lives, there lives at least one Bigfoot, but he is stranger than any one Bigfoot you've seen. He claims that this Bigfoot is a completely white one, and he has some evidence to show for that claim. He traversed the forests and took recordings of every journey, and with more long hours of going through every footage and enhancing it, he has found some strange sightings of something that's been stalking him all throughout his journey. He has spotted many times a white figure trying to hide near bushes or trees, while keeping a close eye on his movements. Scott's cameras managed to pick up multiple occurrences of this, but one of the best sights he caught was the creature's face. We can see the special color of the creature, which I am guessing isn't helping it hide at all in a green forest. But the creature also seems strangely creepy and cautious at the same time, as if he is fearing Scott. Could this be a mutation of the known Bigfoot creature? A mutation that made it completely white? This security footage was taken by someone who set up these cameras because they believe the house is haunted and wanted proof of that. And as you are about to see in this clip, the house certainly is haunted. We can see the woman sleeping in her room, everything starting out normal, but just a bit past 8 p.m. we can see the door of a small cabinet opening on its own. Soon after, the light inside it start going on and off, but creepier, the stand near her bed seems to move slowly, to a point where it hits the bed, as if to wake her up. Once she wakes up thinking she heard something, she calls after someone in the house, who immediately comes to comfort her.
Honey?
They go back into the room to check again, knowing something is not right, but decide they do not want to stay in that room any longer. But just a few seconds after they leave, this happens. The footage ends there, but we can all say with certainty, something is wrong in that house. Could it be a poltergeist playing with them? This security footage caught a creepy sight. It seems to be placed in a house under construction, perhaps to see if anyone comes to steal any of the building materials. But as soon as this clip starts, we can see something coming out of the next room. It looks like the shadow of a man that is walking slowly, heading towards the next room. I am not sure whether it is the way the camera is set up, but the figure seems incredibly large, almost reaching the height of that tall door. It is truly a creepy sight. What exactly could it be? Is this some kind of a shadow ghost? Or is it just some flickering of the camera that created a creepy glitch on the screen? This hiker started recording with his phone while in the forest because he realized something might be stalking him. Although he shakes the camera a lot, perhaps due to being anxious, we can easily spot something in the distance, looking directly at him. The figure appears humanoid, but fully dressed in black, or perhaps black hair. Although the hiker managed to get out of the forest safely, he claims to have been shaken by what he saw that day, and is unsure himself of what he's seen, not knowing if it was a weird person following him around or something more creepy. Many claimed that is a sasquatch, who got a bit too interested in this particular case and decided to follow him around. But given the bad quality of the video, I'm not so sure that is the case, when it can also be all a setup. What do you think? This elementary school principal from Nicholas County, West Virginia, had a terrifying jump scare. We can see him near a dumpster, trying to unlock it, but little does he know of what he is about to encounter inside it. As he removes the metal bar, keeping it closed, we quickly see it open. In that moment, a big furry head pops out of the dumpster and greets the principal, who immediately gets scared and starts running for his life. The black bear climbs out of the dumpster and proceeds to also run in the other direction. We also have the footage of how the bear got inside it. A trail camera conveniently set up directly near the dumpster spots the bear as he just flips the metal lock bar, bends it upwards, and proceeds to squirm inside it. Apparently, the bear was not locked inside it, as it seems he can easily open and get out of the dumpster. So perhaps the principal just disturbed his post-meal nap. This camera caught the sight of a cub looking overly interested in something under the tree.
Oh, there's a baby elk up there.
We quickly realize the bear is actually attacking a scared animal who calls out for help. Having heard the pleas for aid, a fully matured deer quickly arrives at the scene and proceeds to gallop towards the bear. We can imagine beneath the fallen tree there is a baby deer who is making the calls for help. And he continues doing that because the bear does not seem that scared of the parent. Just as the parent is turning its back from the situation for some reason, the bear goes in for a quick bite on the baby deer. Thankfully, all parties got out alive from this situation, perhaps the bear disappointed of the missed meal, as we can see him continuing to chase after the two deer. This trail camera caught a terrifying and unexpected situation, an encounter of raw strength between two bears. We can see the sheer strength of their hits and bites, each of them fighting with all they have in what both parties expected to be a fight to the death. Both bears, realizing they might not want to risk it all, position themselves so that a tree is standing between them, which seems to defuse the situation a bit, as both parties seem to calm down. I remember the saying that if you ever get caught by a bear in a forest, use a tree between yourself and bear until it loses interest. It does seem to work in this clip, but I am not sure it would work as smoothly for a human against a bear. This trail camera caught an adorable sight: 3 cubs playing around in the cornfield. The raw strength we've seen in our previous video seems to have instantly vanished when looking at the younglings. We can see that they are standing near a house and a large fence surrounding the area, so they might in fact be in a natural reservation, and I am somewhat pleased by that, because it increases their survival. As we all know, a mother bear usually loses between 25 to 50% of all cubs until they are 1-year-old. So these 3 little guys have a lot more chances. I've found this image online, with the user claiming they have captured this on trail camera. It is no question what the first thought anyone would have. That is the face of the legendary Bigfoot. Its face fully covered in brown hair, a large nose perhaps for a body just as big. On the other hand, its eyes seem to convey also a gentleness. Could this image be real or fake? Is it the real face of the legendary creature? A large and ominous-looking predator emerges from the right into the camera frame. Moving almost too quickly to focus on it, disappears in seconds from view. A chance encounter of a lifetime occurs when this person captures what appears to be a creature of legend known as the almasti or snowman of the Caucasus. This cousin to Bigfoot and the Yeti is believed to roam the Caucasian wilds. Approximately 6 feet tall with red or black fur, the creature is believed to have slanted eyes that glow red in the dark. In a strange bounding leaping gait, it proceeds to tear through the forest as if in pursuit of something we cannot see. The cameraman manages to capture a clear glimpse of it just before it disappears. These mysterious beasts can move at 37 miles per hour and resemble something between an ape and a Neanderthal. Watch as the creature almost jumps from one step to another. Had this unsuspecting voyeur been spotted, it would be unlikely that they'd manage to escape at the pace the creature is able to pursue its prey. A man films a live video of himself walking around a seemingly deserted ship deck at night. No sooner has he started filming when his eyes grow wide with surprise. He turns the phone camera to the water, and it takes a moment to realize that we aren't seeing something but hearing it. At first, it sounds like the wail of a child in the distance, but with every repeated sound, it becomes something far more abstract and eerie.
I hear him. Where's he at? What the fuck is that noise?
He breaks into a run, moving to the hull of the ship to get closer to the sound. This time, a distinct series of calls are heard coming from the darkness beyond. Something or someone throws its voice as if responding to him.
That's crazy.
Later, he posts a replay of his live video, calling out to the voice. A clear response is heard from the distance as he balances precariously to get as close to the sound as possible.
Can you hear me? Yo, that shit was instantaneous, bro. Oh, I gotta watch my step out here, man.
Listen to its distinct call, just a second before he calls out again to it.
Where are you? Oh, that's over here. Wait, no, now it's there.
The voice appears to be coming from two places at once. What is this strange call? There does not appear to be another boat in close proximity. Could it be a ghost from some long, forgotten shipwreck? Or the mythical mermaid, like sirens who lured sailors with their haunting song, only to have them drown when their boats capsized on the rocks? At 3:30 in the morning, a young girl is caught on the Ring camera, gingerly pressing the doorbell. She seems agitated and nervously glances out at the dark from where she's just come from. She pauses briefly before running off into the dark. Is someone chasing her? Where is her family? It is unclear what has happened. But there is a sinister feeling about the footage. An unconfirmed report suggests that the child is being used as bait for her criminal father, and that seconds after the door was indeed opened, the witness stated that she immediately ran into the house, and seconds later, after they'd only just managed to shut the door, a man with a gun came charging up to the door. Some viewers claim to see a shadowy figure behind her. For now, we are left to wonder what terrible circumstances brought this young child to a stranger's door in the early hours of the morning. Below the streets of Paris lie a labyrinth of tunnels that became the site of mass graves. This area is known as the catacombs and is sealed off from the public. Video footage is discovered on an abandoned video camera found deep within the catacombs. Comprised of a continuous point of view, it presents a disturbing narrative. The first 40 minutes are largely uneventful as the mystery man travels into the depths of the catacombs. All of a sudden, he begins to walk faster and faster. As his pace picks up, you can hear his breathing. Eventually, he breaks into a run, pausing only briefly to decide which way to turn. The panic is palpable, and then he just drops his camera, and all that can be seen are his shoes reflected as he runs away, and the camera continues recording until it runs out of tape. Explorer Francis Friedland gathers a team of experienced men to attempt to find the mysterious missing man.
In Paris, you have as many miles of tunnels underground as there are streets above ground. No one knows just how many passageways exist in the catacombs, but we believe that they go down over 300 feet. Some are filled with water, and many tunnels have collapsed over the years. It's an enormous maze. We think there are as many as 7 levels to it.
Friedland and his team will have to enter the catacombs illegally. They search to find a hold, but most have been closed by the authorities. They end up walking down a deserted train track where they eventually find a point of entry. The conditions in the catacombs are exceptionally dangerous. It is dark, cold, and difficult to maneuver. Chances of finding the lost man are slim. There are narrow passages to navigate and even holes you can fall into. Friedland explains that there are over 400 miles of passages, and that anyone could easily get lost in the tunnels and never find their way out. If you lose your flashlight, you are dead. At 297 feet below the streets of Paris, the group conclude that this was too deep for an amateur, and that the man more than likely got lost and died. After 6 hours, the men are exhausted and are running low on batteries. They abandon their search and attempt to surface through a manhole, but it is sealed shut. They will now have to retrace their steps back to the surface. As for this man, we will never know what he was running from, and if he ever saw the light of day again. Captured through the zoomed-in lens of a cell phone camera, a large and terrifying creature emerges from the trees on the right-hand side of the screen. It faces the brave cameraman and begins to run towards the campground. The occupants flee in terror. Could this be the legendary Bigfoot? Watch the actual footage and decide for yourself. Either way, it was a close call for these campers.
Yo, what the? Yo! See that? Is that it? Hello? Yo, you see that dude? Look! Yo, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Go, 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 go. Get the fuck out of here. Come on.
Zoomed in over 20 times optical and shot from about 20 yards, an Explorer captures this amazing and utterly chilling close-up of a sasquatch. If you look carefully, the creature's face is clearly visible, looking straight in the direction of the videographer, who is hiding beneath a pine tree. Seemingly unfazed, the creature continues to hold his ground to ensure the safety of his tribe. Deep in the forest at Watauga Lake, a large black bear is seen mauling its defenseless prey. Despite the deer being quite large, the grip of the bear is too strong. It tries in vain to free itself from the vice, but eventually succumbs to the predator and is dragged off to its lair. Two buck face off in an epic battle, and the victor will win his ultimate prize, a doe to mate with. A common occurrence in nature, but seldom caught on camera. These two bucks are engaging in a duel during mating season. As a last resort, they abandon budding antlers and stand up to attack their opponent with their hooves, which are wicked weapons. They are remarkably agile on their hind legs. Notice as the buck on the left gains ground, using its sharp front hooves to attack his opponent. They will engage in this combat until one or both succumbs to injury or has had enough and gives up. A man is seen frantically trying to climb a tree as a large bear follows close behind. As he struggles to ascend higher out of harm's way, the bear follows. At its full height, it snaps at the man's heels as helpless onlookers film him. The hungry and agitated bear is in hot pursuit, and as the man struggles to get a good grip on the branch, the bear begins to climb the tree as well. In the nick of time, the would-be prey manages to escape to higher safety. The bear, losing interest, abandons the hunt and returns to the ground. It is unclear whether he will remain there in the hopes the man will tire, and he will have an easy dinner. Either way, an incredibly close call for the man whose quick thinking more than likely saved his life. If you want to see more interesting footage, then watch this.